Now going to get he's also in Sydney. I'm in Sydney too. We'll get Rob Licuria on the line to speak with him.
Hello.
G'day, Rob.
How you going?
Very well, yourself?
I'm okay. I'm okay. We have some things to talk about now.
Yeah. What first comes to mind?
You know what I'm going to say, don't you? I'm going to say.
Is it Fringe or Game of Thrones related?
Well, do you want to start with the positive? We'll start with the positive.
Let's start with the positive.
Okay, let's start with the positive. When I saw Game of Thrones in that list, I was thrilled. What a fantastic result for that fantastic show. It did very well as we expected. Peter Dinklage got a nomination, so it made a dent in the acting categories, but more importantly, it looks like it's one of the leaders with 13 nominations. That's very, very cool. Very happy about that. But I have to say, I am so disappointed about Fringe. I don't understand how shows like Harry's Law can be nominated in numerous categories and then shows like Fringe, especially John Noble, with all the heat behind him this year, just completely ignored yet again. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, no, not good for you. John Noble got snubbed for supporting actor. Do you want to have a look? I don't think we've had a look at the supporting actor.
Let's do that.
Categories
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. Now, in the supporting drama categories, the usual suspects, or the people that a lot of us were expecting: Alan Cumming from The Good Wife, Peter Dinklage, as mentioned, John Slattery returns to the race, so does Andre Braugher. But two very welcome surprises were Walton Goggins, after years of being snubbed on The Shield, makes an appearance for Justified, which is really, really cool. But also Josh Charles. That's great for Josh Charles. Never been nominated for anything. He's been working for so long, and he must be absolutely thrilled to be finally included for such a fantastic year as well, I might add. So good on him.
As a fan of Sports Night, particularly nice to see him finally get that nomination.
Totally. Very cool, very cool. So, and he has some great episodes behind him, so people need to watch out for him especially. But on the actress side, it kind of became pretty expected, because it looks like both Chris and I got 6 out of 6 there. So we see Christine Baranski and Archie Panjabi from The Good Wife. Michelle Forbes from The Killing. That's her first nomination, by the way, in God knows how long she's been working on TV. So that's really cool. Christina Hendricks makes an appearance again. Kelly MacDonald from Boardwalk Empire. I might add, she's the only supporting player, and I guess she's really the only actor apart from Steve Buscemi who's made the list from that show, but that's pretty surprising. And last but not least, Margot Martindale. That makes me very happy to see her in the list. And I think she's probably going to be the front runner now, because if anyone has seen her episodes, complete knockout.
Because I haven't seen Margot Martindale yet, but if you'd given me the other names, I would have said that Michelle Forbes is a huge threat. There is a chance, I'm not 100% sure of this, that she might be able to submit the first 2 episodes of the season.
Well, because of the way they aired.
They aired back to back, and I think there's a precedent with William Shatner submitting the last 2 episodes of Boston Legal.
Yes, you're right.
That were different episodes, but they aired on the same night. And grieving mother loses her child, that kind of thing. But you think Margot Martindale has a better tape? I
don't know. Look, that's a really good point, Matt. And I think this is going to be one of those categories that we'll be watching very carefully, because if you go down this list, they all have very impressive work to submit. Kelly MacDonald, for instance, I've just been catching up on Boardwalk, and she's just fantastic. So really, this is some really exciting stuff on the supporting side, putting aside the people that have missed out, because it's such a deep category, as we know. So shall we just quickly raise who was nominated on the comedy side? Have you and Tom covered that yet?
We talked comedy supporting acting. Okay, good. Oh man, I'm not going to attempt to pronounce this name that's in the chat room. It starts with PH. It says no Grey's Girls, especially Sarah, or The Killing for best drama series.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Emmy's not very satisfied with the ending of the show.
Look, don't you think? I think, look, before that finale aired of The Killing, many of us were expecting it to make it in the list. And then once that finale aired and there was such a backlash, look, the feeling was that it probably kind of hurt its chances, and it did. It only, I think, ended up getting 6 nominations, which is good for a first-year show, but it could have done much better, especially on the creative side. So, yeah, that didn't make it through, although Mireia Enos and Michelle Forbes made it in, so that's something. But, yeah, no Greys, ladies. That really sucks. There's a Greys nomination in the guest actress category. I think Loretta Devine made it in, which is nice.
Yeah.
But it's such a shame for Sarah Ramirez. GoldDerby, we covered her chances quite a bit, as you know, and we thought that she had a pretty legitimate chance, and the fact that she's not there really is so disappointing. But at least she was part of the discussion, I guess. The same goes for Katie Strickland from Private Practice, which is the spin-off show. She had a shot, I guess, and yet so now all of these Fringe players, pardon the pun, but all these Fringe contenders just fell by the wayside, and we didn't really see as many surprises, perhaps maybe as we were hoping.
We've got a comment here. The Game of Thrones from JGH8XXX. Game of Thrones managed to break through into drama series, but failed to get several easy nods in the technical categories, including main title, theme music, art direction, and cinematography. What's happening there?
What a joke. Isn't that a joke? Like, I was expecting Game of Thrones to lead the nominations tally this year. It doesn't. In the drama series categories, it's Mad Men that gets 19, which I think is a record for that show. Game of Thrones got 13.
Is this bad news for Boardwalk Empire, that they didn't get the most?
Yes, I think it is. Boardwalk got 18, so it's pretty close. And it would have gotten more had Michael Pitt and Michael Shannon, who were expected to make an appearance, were nominated. They weren't. So I think it's going to be Mad Men and Boardwalk Empire. But Game of Thrones should have at least gotten the main title nomination. That's absurd. And cinematography and the other ones that it missed out. I haven't had a chance to go through all the technicals yet, but that's ridiculous. Can I just make a quick point now that we're talking about the technicals? It looks like that Mildred Pierce, I don't know if you and Tom have said this yet, Mildred Pierce got 21 nominations. I think that's the record. That's broken the record for most nominations for a television movie or miniseries. Is that wrong? Okay. Or no, I think that's Roots. That's probably Roots. But 21 is very impressive for Mildred Pierce. So that looks like it's going to be.
Yeah,
I'm very surprised.
And Eon Daily 2K11 says Rob is upset for Carlos in the miniseries.
I am upset. Thank you, Eon, for mentioning it. You obviously know exactly what I was about to say. Yeah. Mildred Pierce did very well, but the fact that Carlos is not in it, I mean, that could have won an Oscar. That's how good that particular production is, and Sundance will be very disappointed to only see Edgar Ramirez in the list. I'm not even sure if it was able to reap a nod in the writing category. It didn't submit, in the directing category. It didn't submit in writing, but surely Olivier Assayas was able to get his nod, and if he didn't, and that's just ridiculous. The fact that Carlos is not there, but we've got, I mean, I don't know, I don't want to be too rude about this, but I didn't think the Kennedys were better than Carlos, and so that's that's ridiculous, I have to say.
Yeah. Carl Waldo said Roots got 38, he believes.
Right.
Roots got
thank
38,
you.
he believes. Okay.
Thank you for clearing that up. I think I got my wires crossed there, but I've got a few other points that I've just jotted down while you and Tom were talking, and I'm sure Chris will mention this. Chris and I were perhaps maybe kidding ourselves when we thought that Hot in Cleveland would do as well as we thought, but that only ended up with 2 nominations and didn't crack through the comedy category. I followed you guys off the cliff. I know. I think our credibility has probably gone off that same cliff now. But I must say, I'm really happy that Parks and Recreation was able to get that nomination. That is so cool. That's very cool of the Emmys to do that. Although I don't know what exactly Joel McHale has to do now to receive a nomination. The fact that he couldn't even crack the comedy actor category in this year of the Emmys being cool, so to speak, in the comedy categories, kind of sucks.
He has to apologise to Tom, I think.
I think he does. And I think, Matt, you need to set that up in some kind of video chat, live stream thing. You need to. We know John McHale. We've spoken to the guy. He's a lovely guy. He needs to get on this thing and apologise to Tom. And that might help, I hope. But yeah, that Chris will probably want to talk about that even further because that's his favourite show. So that really sucks. But talking about comedy, I'm very happy about Melissa McCarthy, and you could see her reaction when she was announcing her nominations. That was cool. Although I was wondering then, did Joshua Jackson expect to be nominated as well? And I hope not, because that wasn't going to happen. But yeah, so very happy for her. And I'm also very happy for Louis C.K. He ended up with 3 nods all up somehow. Well, his show got 2 nods and his special also got a nod as well, which is really cool. That's very nice to see that.